Have you ever stopped to think that money is not the secret to winning and maintaining a solid relationship? Thousands of men make the same mistake. They believe that financial status and material possessions are the key to a woman's heart. But the truth is much deeper. Statistics reveal that seemingly financially stable marriages have high divorce rates, while relationships based on emotional connection thrive. In this video, you will discover 3 powerful attitudes that are worth much more than any bank account. Get ready for a complete transformation in how you understand relationships, breaking myths and uncovering true feminine desires. What you are about to learn will surprise you and completely change the way you connect with women. Let's get straight to the point about modern relationships and how the obsession with financial status is completely destroying the connection between people. Many men still believe that money solves everything, but the reality is quite different. Today's women seek much more than a credit card or a full bank account. They want someone who understands them deeply, who demonstrates emotional intelligence, and the ability for true connection. Recent research shows that the main factor for a woman to stay in a relationship is not related to material goods, but to the quality of communication and emotional bonds. It's impressive how many men still don't understand this crucial detail. The psychology behind women's choices in relationships is complex. They value men who can express their emotions, who are vulnerable and authentic. We are not talking about fragility, but about emotional maturity. Imagine that you can create a genuine connection where your partner feels entirely safe and understood. This is worth much more than any expensive gift or luxury trip. Women seek partners who complement them, not who buy them. Emotional intelligence has become the new differentiator in contemporary relationships. Knowing how to listen, show empathy, manage conflicts in a mature and balanced way are skills that make all the difference. A man who develops these capabilities automatically becomes more attractive, not because of the money he has, but because of the inner richness he demonstrates. His ability to understand feelings, to communicate in a deep and genuine way, puts him on another level. Women are increasingly selective and aware. They want partners who respect them as individuals, who celebrate their independence, and who are true companions. Not just financial providers, but emotional partners. Do you really want to win and maintain an amazing relationship? Forget about the wallet and focus on your personal development, your ability to connect, and your authenticity. This is the secret that few men discover. How to understand feminine psychology in relationships. Emotional intelligence has become the differentiating element that truly conquers and maintains a deep connection. More than financial resources, modern women value men capable of understanding complex emotional dimensions. The key lies in the ability to demonstrate genuine vulnerability. It's not about fragility, but about emotional maturity. A man who can express genuine feelings, manage conflicts with balance, and listen attentively becomes infinitely more attractive than someone with only monetary success. Feminine psychology seeks true connections where there is mutual respect and complementarity. She wants a partner who sees her as a complete individual, not as an object to be conquered or maintained through material goods. Deep communication has become the primary element of attraction and permanence. Developing emotional intelligence means learning to identify and process emotions, both your own and your partner's. It means having empathy, creating safe spaces for dialogue, and demonstrating true understanding. These skills surpass any attempt to impress with status or wealth. Contemporary women value partners who celebrate their independence, who can grow together, and who don't try to control them. They want someone who inspires them, who supports their personal and professional goals without competition or insecurity. An emotionally intelligent man knows how to listen without judging, share feelings without fear, and build intimacy through mutual trust. He understands that showing vulnerability does not make him weak, but genuine and mature. True connection happens when you set aside social masks and allow your authenticity to shine through. It's not about impressing, but about connecting deeply, creating an environment where both can be completely true. Do you want to win and maintain an amazing relationship? Invest in your emotional development. Learn to communicate better, to be empathetic, to manage conflicts intelligently. This will be your greatest strategy for conquest and connection. First, understand that personal development does not happen overnight. It is a gradual process that requires commitment and self-awareness. Imagine that you are building a solid emotional house, where each brick represents a skill acquired. The first crucial attitude is to develop your emotional intelligence. How to do this? Start by paying attention to your own feelings. Do a daily self-assessment exercise. At the end of each day, reflect on your emotions, what you felt, why you felt it, and how you reacted. This process of self-reflection will help you understand your emotional patterns. Practice active listening when you are talking to someone. This means truly listening, without preparing your response while the other person is speaking. Pay attention to details, to the subtext, to the tone of voice. Genuine listening is a powerful skill that earns people's trust. The second important attitude is to cultivate authentic vulnerability. Many men confuse vulnerability with weakness, but in fact, it represents emotional courage. Start by sharing deeper feelings with people you trust, gradually breaking your own internal barriers. A practical exercise: write in a journal about your true emotions. What fears prevent you from connecting? What insecurities block your authenticity? This record will help you identify patterns and work on them. The third fundamental attitude is to develop real empathy. Not superficial empathy, but a deep understanding of the emotional universe of the other. Practice putting yourself in the other person's shoes without judgments. Ask more. Opine less. Create a personal development timeline. In the next 3 months, set specific goals for each attitude. In the first month, focus on emotional intelligence. In the second, on vulnerability. In the third, on empathy. Track your progress. Be patient with yourself. One of the biggest obstacles is the fear of vulnerability. Many men grew up hearing that showing emotions is a sign of weakness. This outdated mentality completely blocks the possibility of authentic relationships. The truth is that emotional courage represents strength, not fragility. Internal insecurities are another huge challenge. Thoughts like, "I'm not good enough," or "she will abandon me," can paralyze any attempt at genuine connection. To overcome this, it is essential to work on self-esteem and self-love. Practical strategies can help during these difficult times. When you feel that fear is taking over, take a deep breath and do a self-reflection exercise. Ask yourself, what is really preventing me from being true? Identifying the source of the blockage is the first step to overcoming it. Therapy or psychological support can be an incredible resource on this journey. A professional can help unravel deep-rooted emotional patterns and provide tools for developing emotional intelligence. Another important challenge is dealing with the fear of judgment. People tend to protect themselves by putting on social masks. But true relationships happen when you allow yourself to be completely authentic. This means accepting that not everyone will like you, and that's okay. For difficult moments, develop a self-care strategy. Have a support group of friends, practice meditation, get physical exercise. These activities help maintain emotional balance and resilience. The key is to understand that personal development is a journey, not a destination. There will be tough days, moments of doubt, but every step taken with courage brings you closer to deeper and more meaningful connections. Transform your challenges into opportunities for growth. Each emotional blockage you overcome makes you stronger, more connected, more human. Common mistake number 1: believing that displaying purchasing power impresses women. In fact, this behavior generates exactly the opposite effect. When a man constantly shows off material possessions or talks about his bank account, he conveys deep insecurity. Women quickly pick up on when someone is trying to compensate for some internal fragility through financial display. It's like an automatic red flag that screams, "Warning, superficial person ahead." One of the biggest male misconceptions is confusing personal value with monetary value. Many men believe they need to impress with expensive gifts or showcase a luxurious life. However, intelligent and emotionally mature women seek genuine connection, not a show of ostentation. Another behavior that completely distances any possibility of relationship is financial control. Trying to manipulate or restrict a partner's spending is a classic sign of emotional immaturity. Healthy relationships assume mutual trust and respect for individuality. Constant comparison with other men also acts as a great repellent. When a guy keeps competing or trying to prove he is better through material possessions, he reveals low self-esteem and deep insecurity. Men who boast about professional achievements or make a point of displaying social status are usually trying to fill some emotional gap. It's a strategy that screams, "I need external validation." The true demonstration of value happens through attitudes, not material goods. The ability to listen, show empathy, respect, complicity, and emotional maturity are far more attractive than any platinum credit card. A man who can be vulnerable, admit his weaknesses, and show personal growth will always be more interesting than one who tries to appear perfect externally. Women value authenticity, not facades. Therefore, the main advice is invest in yourself, develop emotional intelligence, and work on your self-esteem. Your greatest asset will always be who you are as a human being, not what you possess materially. Each person has a unique style and specific dynamics, so there is no universal magic formula. The secret is to understand that emotional flexibility is fundamental. For casual relationships, the approach needs to be lighter and more natural. The man needs to demonstrate genuine interest without seeming desperate. The key is to create quick yet authentic connections, showing that you are present in the moment without heavy expectations. In more serious relationships, personalization requires deeper layers of understanding. Here, the guy needs to adapt his attitudes according to the partner's personality. Some prefer direct communication, while others enjoy more subtle and indirect approaches. A crucial point is to understand individual emotional triggers. Each person reacts differently to stress, intimacy, and communication. Observing and asking without judgment are powerful strategies for creating rapport. For more introverted partners, communication needs to be calmer and more respectful. With extroverted people, it's possible to be more dynamic and direct. The intelligence lies in perceiving and respecting these nuances. Emotional adaptability represents true maturity. It means always being willing to learn, evolve, and adjust your approach. It's not about changing your essence, but being flexible enough to grow alongside your partner. A common mistake is trying to fit everyone into the same mold. Relationships are living organisms that need space to breathe and transform. Those who understand this have a much higher chance of building lasting connections. The main technique is to always be attentive, listen more than you talk, and be open to feedback. Your partner will always be your best source of information on how to connect genuinely with her. In maintaining and consistent deep emotional attitudes, the real challenge is to transform learning into a permanent habit. It's not enough to know techniques. You must incorporate them into the essence of your daily behavior. Emotional consistency begins with a true personal commitment. Imagine that your attitudes are like muscles that need to be exercised constantly. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes to demonstrate emotional intelligence. To maintain these attitudes in the long term, establish personal rituals of self-awareness. Dedicate at least 15 minutes a day for reflection. This could be through meditation, journaling, or simply a moment of silence to process your emotions. Moments of emotional pressure are true tests of your development. When stress rises, many men tend to default to old defensive behavior patterns. The key is to take a deep breath and remember the tools you have learned. A powerful strategy is to create an emotional emergency kit. List 3 actions you can take when you feel you're losing control. Take a deep breath, go for a walk, talk to a close friend. Having a plan helps maintain calm. Growth is not linear. There will be days when you feel more connected and days when it will be harder. Maturity is accepting these variations without judging yourself harshly. Every little stumble is an opportunity for learning. Seek constant feedback from close people. Ask for honesty about how your attitudes are evolving. Sometimes we need an external perspective to see our emotional blind spots. Invest in continuous personal development. Read books on emotional intelligence, take courses, join discussion groups. The more knowledge you accumulate, the more prepared you will be to handle emotional challenges. The secret is to transform awareness into action, knowledge into behavior. Your relationships will be a direct reflection of your internal development. Stay curious, open, and committed to your personal growth. To implement this immediately, start paying attention to your own emotions. Do a daily self-reflection exercise, recording feelings and behavior patterns. Practice active listening, observe people beyond words, and allow yourself to show vulnerabilities without fear. Your action plan is simple. In the next 3 months, dedicate yourself to expanding your emotional intelligence. Seek knowledge, be open to learning, and most importantly, be kind to yourself during this journey of personal transformation. Do you want to share your experience? Leave a comment below about how your emotional evolution is going. Every story is unique and can inspire other men on this path of self-discovery and genuine connection.